From chasing down thieves with no help whatsoever to having a nickname you would never be able to guess, the reigning UFC heavyweight champ is more than meets the eye. Here are 10 things you didn't know about Jon Jones. Number 10. He takes matters into his own hands. Jon Jones is not someone you want to steal from. Something happened one night in 2020 that demonstrated that perfectly. A robber tried to steal a car from Jones's house, but the plan fell apart quickly. Moments after the thief broke into the car, an alarm on Jones's phone went off. He responded immediately by opening his garage door to see what was happening. Now, the robber fled when he unexpectedly appeared with a shotgun and chased him down. But the fact that Jones decided to handle the situation himself instead of calling the police shows that he isn't afraid to make a move. Jones later shared a video of the incident online explaining that he managed to catch up with the thief. In the video, he advised potential robbers to make sure they could outrun him before attempting a new theft. While he didn't fire his shotgun, Jones warned him never to come back and made sure the thief knew he was lucky he chose not to shoot as he fled. This incident is just one of the many times Jon Jones has had a run-in with thieves, as you'll see later on the video. Number 9. He's MMA's messiah. Jon Bones Jones is known for his unparalleled reach of 84.5 inches, the longest in UFC history. And the man is pretty tall. Many experts believe that Jones has both the skills and physical attributes needed to dominate the heavyweight division for years to come. Considering that both of his brothers are exceptional athletes as well, it's possible that his remarkable athleticism runs in the family, but more on that later. Each of his fights is a spectacle because of his intricate matrix-like fighting style. He's leading the charge and changing the face of MMA. From the early brawlers or single-discipline specialists of the 1990s to the more adaptable MMA fighters of the 2000s. Many in the MMA community consider Jones to be one of the sport's top personalities, calling him the Michael Jordan of MMA, as Joe Rogan put it. Number 8. He's a new kind of MMA fighter. Jon Jones is a unique example of the new breed of mixed martial arts fighters, distinguished not only by his remarkable athletic accomplishments, but also by his admirable personal qualities outside of the ring. His upbringing is mostly responsible for his polite and generous nature. The fundamental principles of his faith were ingrained in him by his well-respected community pastor father. And despite occasional controversies, UFC President Dana White emphasizes the importance of professionalism among his fighters, expecting them to serve as ambassadors of the sport. This is part of a broader effort to reshape the public perception of MMA from mere cage fighting to a respected athletic competition. Jones, with his combination of intelligence, charm, and good looks, has become a legend in this sport. Even Dana White calls him the UFC's poster boy. Number 7. He's more than just a fighter. Jones's appeal extends beyond the octagon. He has received endorsements from Eureka Faber's Form Athletics and has launched his own line of K-Swiss trainers. Not only that, but he's been actively involved with Dana White in efforts to legalize MMA in New York. His appearance alongside White in a Bud Light UFC commercial and his presence on the Jay Leno Tonight Show have only enhanced MMA's image. His actions off camera, such as his intervention in a theft incident just hours before a major fight, have also contributed to his public image, earning him the name Kick-Ass from Dana White. His solid family background, education, and stable upbringing indicate that he's more than capable of navigating the pressures of fame. This foundation helps to minimize the risk of personal difficulties derailing his career, positioning him as a role model both inside and outside the MMA world. Number 6. He isn't afraid to make a move. Just hours before his fight with Shogun, Jon visited a waterfall in New Jersey to meditate and prepare mentally for the upcoming bout. Upon reaching his coach's parking lot, he was warned that they were in a dangerous area known for muggings. Right after the warning, Jon witnessed a woman being mugged. Acting quickly, he chased the assailant, caught him, and held him until help arrived. However, a later event in Jon's career was even more shocking for his fans. During UFC 159 in 2013, where Jon was defending his light heavyweight title against Chael Sonnen, he dominated the match and secured a technical knockout in the first round. But the post-fight interview revealed a disturbing sight. Jon had severely broken his big toe during the fight. The toe was so badly injured that it was barely attached, making it a gruesome sight for anyone watching. Number 5. He wasn't always called Jon Bones Jones. Jon once had a nickname that he quickly regretted after joining the UFC. He initially called himself Sexual Chocolate, a name he later realized wasn't as cool as he thought. He shared in a tweet years later that he had dropped that nickname for his original one, Bones, as he should have. This nickname came from his high school football days. It was probably because of his tall and thin physique back then, which was vastly different from his brother, who was called Beefy due to his larger frame. Number 4. He isn't the only athlete in the family. Both of Jon's brothers, Chandler and Arthur, have made names for themselves in the NFL. Arthur Jones, his older brother, was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 2010 NFL Draft, and Chandler, his younger brother, is an aspiring defensive end for the Las Vegas Raiders. Arthur played the same position for various NFL teams for over 7 seasons before retiring in 2017. Both brothers have achieved Super Bowl champion status, showing that the champion spirit runs deep in the Jones family. Number 3. Jones had an unusual pre-fight ritual. Despite being a legend in the MMA scene, Jones has been his own worst enemy over the years. In an eye-opening admission during his appearance on the Joe Rogan Experience in 2016, he revealed that he used to get blackout drunk a week before each of his fights. He called this behavior his mental crutch, explaining that if he lost a fight, he could blame it on his drinking rather than his fighting skills. His logic was that if his opponent were to beat him somehow, he could look himself in the mirror and say the reason he lost was because he got hammered the week before the fight. But he never lost, except for that one time. More on that next. Fortunately, Jones has said that he's putting this ritual behind him and admitted to a lot of reckless activities leading up to fights. He recognized his unhealthy relationship with alcohol. He's worked hard to improve his personal life, stating, "I seriously have been working on my personal life tremendously, and I seriously feel that as of right now, I feel amazing." Number 2. Why he only has one loss in his record. Many fans and experts don't consider it a legitimate defeat. This happened in 2009 during the Ultimate Fighter heavyweight finale against Matt Hamill, where the loss was more due to a technicality than being outfought. Jon was dominating Matt in their fight, and near the end, he had Matt pinned down and began throwing elbows. Unfortunately, Jon used 12-6 elbows, which are illegal in the UFC. This prompted the referee to intervene and temporarily stop the fight, deducting a point from Jon for this illegal move. The fight resumed, but the referee soon stopped it again after assessing Matt's condition, initially declaring Jon Jones as the winner. However, due to the illegal elbows thrown by Jon, he was disqualified and Matt was declared the actual winner of the fight. Number 1. He is very spiritual. Jones is known for his deep spirituality, which probably comes from his religious father. In fact, he was heading out to meditate in nature when he unexpectedly chased down a thief again. But this time the thief had stolen a GPS device. During a unique interview with Ariel Helwani before UFC 128, Jones went into complex existential topics, sharing thoughts that confused many. His philosophical discussion showed his capacity for deep thought, but came across as confusing to most, who dismissed it as rambling. But it's possible that Jones's insights could be valued and studied like those of Aristotle in the future. The truth is, Jon shows a calmer and more righteous side than many don't expect outside the ring. In fact, before Jon pursued MMA, he considered following in his father's footsteps. His father supported this idea, but Jon was drawn to MMA and decided to focus on becoming a fighter instead. Although his father tried to discourage him from fighting, Jon was already set on his path in MMA and becoming the reigning champ. But how long will his reign last? Could Stipe Miocic be the one to end his reign in their upcoming fight? Let us know in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this.